All right, hello, hello, hello. I am here in frozen Maryland. I don't know what the deal is. If you live in this area, we had this ridiculous cold front come through and it just like ruined everybody. No, I'm kidding, but it's been really cold here. I'm not sure why, but I actually was planning on taking a surprise trip to like South Carolina. No joke. Like I actually went and looked at the weather, but there's nowhere in the country that's warm right now. I looked at Florida. Southern Florida's in the 70s. Like what? So I'm staying here in Maryland and I'm freezing, and I'm going to give you some of my favorite productivity tips on this Monday afternoon, and hopefully you guys are having a great day. I love Mondays because I feel like Mondays, they start your they start your entire week right. You know what I mean? Like if you start your Monday well, then you're going to have a very successful entire week. This is my husband's coat. I am freezing. If anyone's on the East Coast, it's so cold. Okay, so productivity tips. First of all, I could probably talk to you about this forever, but I'm not going to go on and on and on and on. I'm just going to use some really fast, awesome ones. So my favorite productivity tip probably of all is that I want everyone to start doing power hours. So this is especially a great tip if you're an entrepreneur, like myself. I am just not built to have a boss. I don't work well with bosses. I don't work well with authority figures, unless I feel like they deserve a lot of respect. So power hours are my bread and butter, and here's what I mean by that. I truly and honestly believe I can get more done in an hour than the average person who goes to work from an 8 to 5 can do in an entire week, and that is not an exaggeration. So today, as in this morning so far, I started and finished my taxes, and that's not a joke. So all I have to do now is hand that over to my CPA. I actually washed and did my hair, which happens like once every 2 weeks, so this is big news. I actually carpet cleaned already. I've also read half of a book. What else have I done today? Oh, and I worked on my business that I'm launching. So we've got a lot of exciting things going on. Of course, worked my network marketing business, but whatever. Now this is something that I did truly with power hours. This is something I always do. So let me explain how all of these things happened already, okay? So the way a power hour works is you sit down for 1 hour and you shut off the rest of the world, okay? So what this does psychologically is it teaches your brain that once it's done what it has to do within that hour, you're free to do whatever else you want with your time. So psychologically, it's very freeing because I feel like a lot of you, especially those of you who do work another job, you're used to going in and you have an allotted amount of time. So what power hours give you the freedom to do is actually work based off of tasks instead of based off of time. So had I completed my taxes in the hour, which I don't think would have been possible anyway because your girl makes money. It was just, I would have been done and I would have had a sense of freedom, right? So an hour on my taxes, and I literally, I'm a quick worker, but I was like, I was going nuts, and it was done within, what I needed to do. Now, I actually didn't finish my taxes in the hour, but I did stop after the hour. So I set an alarm on my phone. I actually put on an audiobook and I just started doing my taxes, okay? So once that hour was done, that's when I went to do some other stuff. So that's when I washed my hair, that's when I kind of checked in with my team, and that's when I started doing a few other things, right? So being productive. Now, I am not a huge fan of multitasking because I feel like when you multitask, you actually get a lot less done than you think you do. And I am like the queen of multitasking. I just know psychologically that I'm actually not being as productive as I could be. So, however, with that said, I'm going to give you another great productivity tip when it comes to multitasking. Multitask on things that take no brain power, okay? So I'm a huge reader. I also, it's interesting because I'm kind of stuck between this dichotomy of I feel like you shouldn't need to read a whole bunch of stuff because you should be able to come up with creative ideas on your own. And I'm also stuck with my train of thought, which is readers are readers, okay? So I like the idea of reading, but I also feel like then you just start kind of repeating what other people say all the time. So I'm kind of stuck between the two ideas. It's almost like two universes kind of colliding, but whatever. So multitasking, I'm all about when it is something that is brainless. So I have a girlfriend who is not going to watch this because she's incredibly lazy, but I have a girlfriend who every time we hang out, I almost just said, where's my phone? I'm talking to my phone. Okay, let me pretend this book is my phone, okay? So here, it's a Dr. Seuss book. So when my girlfriend is over at my house or we're together or whatever, every single time we're together, she thinks she's like this amazing multitasker, right? But when we hang out, this is a cell phone right now, okay, guys? This is like the future of our cell phones or something, right? But anyway, so she literally sits there the whole time like this. Uh-huh. 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 Oh, wait, say that again. Like, she is so involved in her telephone. There is, like, we cannot have a dialogue. So the same thing happens when you're trying to multitask on work tasks. So I cannot read an audiobook at the same time that I am doing something that involves talking to somebody. Does that make sense? Because my brain cannot focus on two things that require dialogues at the same time. And neither can yours. So quit trying to fool yourself, right? It's the reason why my family, my husband and I have a rule. There are no cell phones at dinner time or lunchtime whenever we're eating. Just because if he's in his phone, we're not connecting. If I'm in my phone, we're not connecting, right? And that was actually one of my biggest issues in our relationship in my prior company was I was always in my phone because it was nonstop, right? And he was like, you work 100 hours a week. What are you doing? So stop with that kind of multitasking. But what I love multitasking, I love doing this. So when I was carpet cleaning today, I had headphones on, okay? And I was listening to, I was re-listening to Askjessielee, which I really love him. And there's a huge bumblebee outside. Sorry, I have like self-diagnosed ADD. I hope it can't come in here. Anyway, so, I'm kidding, my windows are closed, it's freezing, that's supposed to make you laugh. But anyway, so, headphones on, and then I was vacuuming, and then I was carpet cleaning, okay? So, instead of letting that just be dead time, I made sure I was doing something else. Now, the other thing you could do, I like to meditate every morning, just like 15 minutes of silence, kind of like center myself. That could be another thing that you would do. So maybe when you do, tasks that take no brain power, maybe raking leaves or you're gardening or something. Maybe if you're not big on audiobooks, you do it all in complete silence. So that's something I like to do with my dogs. So when I walk my dogs get walked every single day, that is silent time for me, actually. So I actually don't talk to my dogs. I don't talk to strangers that walk by. I don't go on walks with other people. It is complete silence. And my dogs are, well, one of them is deaf, so I don't need to talk to her. And the other one is like the world's most perfect dog, so I don't need to talk to him. So do you see how you can take a few tasks and put them together as long as it doesn't require brain power? Okay, so I think that is, I think that's critical when it comes to productivity. Okay, so lists. I love lists, but I only make one list a day because if I have more than one list, it's just, I will probably freak out and lose my mind. So every night, we have a gratitude journal, first of all, in my home. So my husband and I write a reason why we loved each other that day. Like something that made us feel loved or whatever that day. We always do it in our gratitude journal. And after that, I make my list for the next day. So my list for the next day is always things that you guys love my love. That's so cute. I love him too. Oh, by the way, I had a crazy eczema outbreak. I can't even wear my ring. I look unmarried, but I swear I'm married. Okay, so anyway, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm like staring at bumblebees. I'm like all over the place, but whatever. I don't care. So anyway, the night before, I always make my list. So some people call it a brain dump. I just call it a list. It's just a list, guys, okay? But a productivity tip with your list is to always do what you hate the most first. This is critical because if you do your favorite thing, okay, so if your, thank you. So if your list is something like, let's see, eat lunch, wash the car, go shopping and buy a new shirt or something, go whatever, and then make 10 phone calls is somewhere on there, and, let's see, what else do a lot of people hate to do? Oh geez, I don't know, read a book, oh, do your taxes, whatever. Okay, even just rattling off those random things, y'all know what you hate doing the most. It would be taxes, which clearly I've procrastinated until April. Actually, I was waiting for my last company to send my corrected 1099. They actually, they put an extra $14,000 on my 1099, so I couldn't do anything until then. So awesome! But anyway, so, let me woo off for a minute. Okay, so yes, eat the frog. I saw that. So I'm like looking over into my bookshelf right now because I know it's on my bookshelf over there. So if I can see it, I'll grab it really quickly. But there is such a good book by Brian Tracy. Let me see. You guys are going to travel with me to my bookshelf. Oh, here it is! Yay! Okay, great productivity tip right here, okay? Oh, look, I like that. It's like a filter, but there's no filter on this. Oh, yeah, this is good. I'm looking good, guys. This is so good. Okay. This book, great book, Eat the Frog, Brian Tracy. Basically, and look, you can tell I read it because look at all these lines. Okay, so, basically, you're going to want to focus on the things that you hate doing, and you're going to do them first. And those are always, I swear, they tend to be the most important things, right? The things that you always procrastinate with, right? The things you constantly know you hate doing, but you gotta do, right? So you know you're going to eat lunch. It doesn't really need to be on a list. You know you're going to go shopping because who doesn't love shopping? Hello. Okay, you know you're going to do those things. But the things you hate doing, the phone calls, you know, if you're in a party plan business, the hostess coaching. Oh, you guys hate it. I know you do. Okay, all the stuff you hate to do, those are the things you're going to have to learn how to do right away. Okay, those things are critical. Critical. Okay, what else? Let's see. Let me see what else I can think of for, productivity tips. How about, oh, I love this one. Productivity tip. Make sure you stick to a schedule on certain parts of your life that are basically key structures. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. Some people call them keystone habits. Okay, so a keystone habit for some people, every single day they wake up at the same time and they make the bed, right? Every single day. Every single day their coffee maker turns on at, what time do you guys wake up? Tell me in the, I don't know, what time do you guys wake up? I don't know. I just want to see what time. I'm like curious. 5! Ah! Oh my god. Okay, so every 5, what in the, oh my, shut up. Okay, so 5, 5:10, 5:30, 4 a.m. Y'all, oh my god. Blech. Okay, but it's okay. I understand. You do it 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. Okay. You are a champion. So every single day, I make sure I do the same things at the same time. Now, this is especially critical for those of you, I love this. You mentioned kids. Some of you are mentioning, I'm sure, full-time jobs. Otherwise, you would not be up at 4 or 5 in the morning. But check it out. If you do the same things at the same time, you will burn out less likely, okay? So you love your mornings. That's so funny. Remind me of that, Sharon, okay? Because I got something funny I want to say about that. I made a joke the other day, and it's really good. I mean, like, I think it's good because it's me, but whatever. Okay, so, for instance, I always eat at the exact same times, okay? So, for those of you who are dieting, you snooze 5 times. Those of you who are dieting, what I used to do when I was trying to lose a ton of weight, so, like, I'm losing a ton of weight now, but I've got, like, a system thing I'm selling, which works really well, but whatever. So, I always I had a really hard time switching to like the chicken and the rice and 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 the chicken and the rice, right? I had a hard time switching to that because my body like wasn't ready for me to eat every 3 hours or whatever. So I would set alarms in my phone. And what happened then was my life was like, you know what I mean? Like you were like on this like very successful train almost. It was like you were just chugging along. You always knew what you had to do and it kept me so productive because I would be able to look at a clock and say, okay, it's 11:32. I have 28 minutes to get this next task done because I have to eat at noon. Do you see what I'm saying? So it slows down your procrastination because your scheduling is so succinct. Okay, very critical in my opinion. Okay, so the really funny joke I made the other day, you don't have to remind me, I remembered. So the really funny joke, somebody was telling me, you know, Jessie-Lee, you always miss the 8 a.m. leadership calls. And I'm like, look, friend, I'm on every single call that's at night. I will always be on an afternoon or a nighttime call. But I was born at 12:01 p.m. and that has stuck with me my whole life. No, I've never been a morning person. And actually, I want to make a comment about that because I hate, and this is none of you, so I'm not mad at any of you. You know, there's that saying, early bird gets the worm, early bird gets the worm, early bird gets the worm, and I truly do not believe that, okay? And this is kind of a productivity tip. This is kind of just like a real life thing. This early bird getting the worm, very different, especially now in a digital age, right? Where we're on our cell phones a lot of the time, a lot of media, obviously, big things, breaking news. See, I think the early bird used to get the worm in an era where all you had was really radio and maybe not even radio, right? So newspapers, because the early bird getting the worm was literally you going outside reading the newspaper, knowing something before somebody else. So I think that you will always be successful. You will always be productive as long as you are hustling, okay? And what I mean by that is I will grind from the hours of 10 till midnight harder than you do your entire work week. I promise you. I will get more done in that time span than you will at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. By the time I wake up at 9, y'all are like, I feel so successful. My 9 to 10, I crush every single day. So every single day, by the time I get to 10 a.m., I've already done more in my 9 a.m. power hour than some of you will do the entire day. But it's okay, because you're going to change that, aren't you? Yes or yes. Okay, so those are some of my favorite productivity tips. I will tell you tonight at 8 p.m. and at 8:30, I'm going to be Periscoping again. I will tell you right now, I'll give you a spoiler alert. My 8:30 Periscope tonight is actually on how to get testimonials on your products if you're in the business of selling products so that you can sell more to your consumers. So it's going to be a really powerful Periscope at 8:30. Make sure you jump on then. Make sure you share this. Thank you for all the hearts. You guys crushed it this time. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, I'm very easy to get a hold of. This personality is super real. I know I got more energy than I don't even know who, but I got a lot of energy. Really easy to get a hold of. The @I'mBossLee is my handle on everything. So you can Instagram me @I'mBossLee. You can Facebook me @I'mBossLee. You can go on my website @I'mBossLee.com. I should just make an I'm Boss Lee app where you learn how to be effing awesome all the time. But if you have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out. I'm a super open book. Love to help you guys make some money. But I will see you tonight at 8 and 8:30. We will talk about how to get some testimonials that make you some serious money. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Uh-oh, look at this. I'm always so bad at this. I can never turn it off. It's like you guys are stuck with me forever.